up, you guys? It's your girl Imani here. I'm back for another video, and for today's video I'm going to share with you guys some tips on how I have been perfecting my wash and goes lately. Y'all, I am no expert at creating a wash and go. I have just been doing my research and playing around with it the same way you need to do with your hair all the time to find how, you know, you can perfect a certain style for you. So as y'all have been seeing, I have been doing a lot of wash and goes lately, and you know, if I do say so myself, they've been coming out better and better every time. A lot of trial and error has gone into these wash and goes though, you guys, and I have tried to share them with you as much as I can. My wash and go fails, and it happens, and it is what it is, but that's how we learn, okay? So I have found some things that have just been like helping my wash and goes lately, and I wanted to share that stuff with you. So before we get into this video, y'all already know what I'm gonna ask you. You already know. Make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, girl, okay? Join the family. You keep coming to my videos and not hitting that subscribe button. I just don't understand why. Hit that subscribe button, okay? With that notification bell so you always know when I'm making a new video. And while you're in the following mood, make sure you go ahead and follow me on my Instagram. It's my name, at Imani Shakir, where I post there daily. Also, guys, I have made a Twitter finally. Like, well, I've had a Twitter in the past, but I'm kind of enjoying it. I'm still working my way around it. But make sure y'all follow me there too. It is Imani_Shakir. Alright, let's get into it. So guys, my first and honestly the main tip that I have for y'all in order to perfect a wash and go is in the name. It's called a wash and go. Wash your hair, child. Wash your hair. I know we have been taught and have learned over the years from a generation who didn't know how to do our hair, I'm just saying, that washing your hair is bad for you. Now, I hear you back in the day when shampoos were extremely harsh on our hair, but it is 2019, girl. There are plenty of options nowadays that allow you to wash your hair and cleanse your hair without stripping your hair of all its natural goodness and natural oils. Like just plenty. Like I can't even list how many, but they've been all over my channel. So make sure you go through my videos to see what I have used. But you want to wash your hair, you want to have just a good wash day in general. Why do you need to wash your hair? You need to get rid of all that nasty gunk that you've had in your hair from however long it's been since your last wash day before you decide to add more products to your hair, because you're just gonna have all this product build up and it's just not gonna look cute. In my last wash day fail, honestly, one of the biggest reasons why I think it failed, besides the combination that I use, which we'll get into later, is the fact that I co-washed my hair first. Co-washing is awesome, and they also have co-washes that do slightly cleanse your hair, but co-wash is not the same as shampoo, okay? I'm sorry, y'all. ACV rinses is not the same as shampoo. It is really not clarifying and getting rid of all that gunk off of your hair and your scalp like shampoo does, okay? So make sure y'all have a really good wash day. Something that I've also been doing is pre-pooing my hair before I even shampoo. Before, I was doing it simply for the conditioning benefits and helping with detangling, but now I've been getting into more clay masks, which really help to lift all that product and stuff before I even start to shampoo. So that's something that I've been doing along with a good shampoo, and then of course the whole deep conditioning, leave-in conditioner, so on and so forth, because for me, I want to make sure that my hair is nice and moisturized before I get into any harsh stylers, especially gels and stuff that I use for my wash day. So I need to make sure that it's nice and moisturized before we get to that. So now that you've done that main thing, you can't skip that, okay? Now that you've done that main thing, you want to make sure that you have the right products for you and your hair. I show y'all products that I use on my wash day, on my wash and goes all the time, but it's the products that, first of all, the products that I try for y'all are really like just trying things out for y'all to see like, oh, okay, it worked on my hair, maybe it'll work on, you know, it'll work on hers, whatever. But that doesn't mean you have to try a new product every week like I do. As soon as you find that perfect product or that perfect combo, that killer combo, stick to it. Maybe find like a good 2 or 3 just so you can kind of go back and forth from time to time, but stick to it because not everything is going to work for your hair. I post fails all the time because I want to show y'all that not everything is going to work for my hair, and that is okay. Me personally, the way my hair is set up, my hair is mostly 4C with a hint of like 4B and like some 4A in the front. So my hair needs a lot of hold to it for it, 1, to even look, you know, defined, and then 2, for it to last for a number of days, because who wants to do a wash and go every day to keep up the look, you know? So me personally, I have to use a gel. Like, I may use a cream underneath depending on how I want the combo to be, but at the end of the day, I do need a gel if I want my wash and go to come out nice and defined like this one, and give me plenty of hold that will last me a number of days. This right now is, it's not Eco Styler. This is the Wetline Extreme Gel that I'm using, but I have a few other gels that I've used in the past that I really, really like. And then it's just important that if you are using a gel or any other cream, guys, whatever you're using, a mousse, make sure that it is something that is not going to flake on you. That is always my trial and error, finding something that's not going to leave a ton of flakes. I really like the Wetline. This is the clear one that I'm using, so it does flake a little bit. The blue one, however, didn't flake on me almost at all. And then I have other gels that I've used in the past that doesn't flake at all. And if you guys would like, comment below. I can definitely like list out for you guys like my top favorite gels. Maybe I'll do that on Instagram, so make sure y'all following me there, okay? Once you have your perfect products that you are using or your perfect killer combo, now you have to get into the method that you are using. I tend to use the raking method because honestly I'm just lazy. I'm still more towards the lazy natural, and I don't want to shingle because it just takes more time. But from time to time I will shingle, and pretty much raking is exactly what you think it is. What you can picture is where you're just raking the product through your hair like that. Where shingling is where you're kind of like taking almost every strand and making sure that that gel is going from root to end like that, if that makes sense. Most of the time I do raking, but I do sometimes like a mixture of both. And neither, I mean, granted, the shingling, when I do a little bit of the shingling, it looks a little better, but I really like raking as well. You have to find the method that works for your hair. That works for my hair, my 4C kind of old type 4 hair, but you could have 4C hair as well and you have to shingle. Or you could have 4B hair and raking just works for your hair better. So you have to try it out and see what works for your hair the best. While we're there, while you're doing this method, you have to make sure that your hair is soaking wet for it to have the best results. If you guys remember my very first wash and go that I tried, like I was just spraying a little bit of water on my hair, and then I had to wonder like why it didn't come out right. Of course it didn't come out right because my hair was not soaking wet. You want to do it pretty much right after you finish your wash day, and I always make sure that I have my spray bottle on me, so that way every single strand, even if it's wet already, I spray my hair first before I put the products on and rake it through. You know, when you like step out the shower and you just wash your hair and it looks super defined before you put any product in, that's what you want. You want your hair to have that definition and just the way it looks in its wet state before you put the gel on, so that way it can dry like that and it can hold like that. You know what I mean? So that is super important. Make sure your hair is soaking wet. Next, make sure that you are drying your hair completely before you go to bed. A lot of people I realize don't realize that they have to do that. whether you are drying your hair with the hooded dryer like I have here in the bag, or whether you are diffusing it, or whether you are letting it air dry. Me personally, I can't let my hair air dry because it would literally take days for it to air dry. So I do like a mix of letting it air dry depending on what time I start, and then I sit under my hooded dryer before I go to bed, because when it's wet, you want it to dry somewhat in the way that you want it to look when it comes out, right? Before you do the fluffing and the stretching, which we'll talk about in a second. But nothing is worse than falling asleep on a wet wash and go. It has yet to give itself any kind of shape, and you wake up and it's all matted down, and it makes it really hard to shape it. Not only that, but it could add a lot of frizz to it, you know what I mean? Because if it's still wet when you're going to bed, if you're rolling around in the bed and such, it's gonna be a frizzy hot mess, and we don't want frizzy hot messes for wash and goes, especially that first day. You know, you want it to be super defined that first day. This is first day hair, and I have like very little frizz right now. And the fact that I have very little frizz now means that I could possibly wear this wash and go for like 4 to 5 days before I need to, like, all right, that's it, Imani, either throw it in a pineapple or wash your hair. So anything, you want to make sure it's really dry before you do anything to it, before you touch it, before you go to bed, anything to prevent that frizz, okay? And I hope I'm not missing anything. If I am, I will just throw it in the comments below. But last but not least, you want to stretch your hair. I know how some people feel about stretching their hair or the method that they use for stretching, but honestly, it's the stretching and the fluffing that gives it that amazing volume. Honestly, this is not even the best volume that I've gotten from a wash and go before, but I'm happy with it. I have shown you guys a video of how I stretch and fluff my wash and goes, and for the most part I do that every time. I do use the blow dryer method, and some people might not feel comfortable with that because of the heat, but you can definitely put your blow dryer on cold and get somewhat of the same result. My hair is not sensitive to heat, so I'm not worried too much about heat damage when I do that. But if you are, just throw that bad boy on cold and you should be good. I also use the steaming method, and a lot of people do prefer the steaming method because it does help you stretch out your curls without possibility of that heat damage. But you don't want, and this is what I learned from Miss Kimberly Sherrill. I love her channel. Do y'all watch her too? Because she gives some bomb tips. She's honestly how I've been getting my wash and goes popping, just watching her. Stop walking around here with these limp wash and goes. Like, I know how y'all might feel about the stretching and all that, but honestly, that dope wash and go, once you do everything else, comes from that stretching and that fluffing and that picking and just like that volume. Y'all all know that wash and go that y'all aim for, it really comes from that volume. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. And then if you do plan on styling your wash and go anyway, you're gonna go a couple steps back and making sure that you do that while it's still soaking wet. For example, I knew I wanted to throw this pin in, so while it was still soaking wet before I sat under the dryer, I just brushed my hair back, threw some pins in it, and then let it dry that way, because I promise you it would not look neat at all if I waited until I dried it, if that makes sense. So just keep that in mind as well. So I hope I didn't miss anything. I think I covered just about everything. Again, it's a lot of trial and error, but you will get it. Like, I was discouraged with wash and goes for the longest until I just finally was like, okay, let me just really try it, and it is what it is. If it comes out bad, it comes out bad, but when it comes out good, you know, you be feeling yourself a little bit. You know, I be feeling myself with my wash and goes, like, okay, I can do it, y'all. Listen, type 4 hair, you can do it. You just been like brainwashed into believing that you can't. Trust me, you can. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If I missed anything, please just comment that below. What helps you with your wash and goes? You know, let's talk about it. Let's help out everybody else. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can join the family. Make sure that notification bell is turned on so you always know when I make a new video. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, okay? Share this video with a friend who be having some limp wash and goes so they can be like, girl, now I know what to do. And other than that, I will see you guys for my next one. Bye.